What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all having a glorious and wonderful day today. You know, yesterday was Valentine's Day. Today is another day. And I must say, guys, that something definitely shifted for me yesterday. I know it was mostly like a holiday, but there was just something about the energy that felt really good. You know, everyone was in a better mood. Everyone was kind of walking in love, or celebrating love in some way, shape, or form. And a shift really kind of came through to me yesterday. And I also wanted to make this video because I've actually been drinking Moldavite water now for a little over 2 weeks now, just every day, every day, every day. And I really wanted to document some of the major changes that I've noticed because I really do believe it's important, for everyone to kind of see what, I'm going through, what you could potentially be going through, and maybe we can point out some, similarities that really happen when people start to drink Moldavite water. And so, kind of jumping right into it right away, guys, the main thing that I noticed while still drinking, and I'm still drinking Moldavite water, is more energy, okay? So, basically meaning that at this time, guys, it's like I've been going to sleep like at 1 in the morning, waking up at like 7, really only needing like about 6 hours of sleep, maybe even less sometimes, 5 hours of sleep, because I just have so much energy and I just feel like doing so many things that it's really shifting my time schedule. Also realizing, at least here in Colorado, that from 1 to basically 2 a.m. is like one of the quietest times, at least in my area, where I can just pray, where I can meditate, and I don't have to worry about hearing anyone because everyone's obviously asleep. But it's definitely a great time for me to use some of that extra energy and just really focus in on prayer, focus in on meditation, and whatever that may be. So that's something I've definitely noticed that's really interesting. So changing of my sleep schedule, so more energy. Also, the other day, guys, I was actually going to the gym, and it was probably like below negative 2 or 3, probably even negative 13 if I'm really exaggerating. But it was pretty cold. I mean, you could leave water out and it would freeze and pretty instantaneously almost. And I remember just wearing like a hoodie and some shorts, like no shirt underneath or anything, and I was pretty warm. So that's something I've definitely noticed, is that I'm able to control my body temperature a lot more when I'm drinking Moldavite water. Even when I was in the sauna, like I started to change my body temperature to really feel like it was cold, and when I went out I was like barely even sweating, which was really interesting to me. So kind of being able to contrast, so when it's cold I can stay warm, and when it's warm I can stay cold or cooled off. And so that's something that's really interesting that I've noticed. Also, guys, another thing on my list that I have here is that I feel more connected to the universe, or I feel this longing to connect more to, galaxies and energy, and just really diving deep into my spirit, really uncovering who I am underneath this body. If I were to rip off my body, if my whole body were to disappear, what would I look like as a soul? And it's something that's really, kind of been like on my chest, on my mind, on my whole being, is just really diving deep into who I really am, before I even came into this world, so to speak, like just ripping off layers and layers and layers. So that's something that's really eating at me right now, is just really that connection, with just everything, and being more spiritual, I guess. So that's another thing that's changed. Also, eating habits have changed. Surprisingly enough, eating habits have changed. So I started drinking Moldavite water. 3 days into it, I tried drinking a little bit of soda, and my body was like, no, like not having it. And so I quickly spit it out. I've also been changing into healthier foods, obviously, maybe like more natural, like strawberries, eating just more grains, having more grains in my diet, having more protein, so to speak, just more natural stuff in my diet, and drinking obviously more water. I can't even stand right now to drink soda or anything else that's not Moldavite water right now. And so really changing my eating habits. Also, a quick example was jalapenos. So the other day I was really guided to just eat like a whole jar of jalapenos with like a nice, like sandwich, and it just tasted so good. And I even started doing research on jalapenos and like why my body was craving, and just to kind of get some ideas. But it was just interesting to me how jalapenos, it was just something I was craving. Since I started drinking Moldavite water, it's something that I crave more for some reason, and they taste really good if you guys can handle the spice and really love the flavor. So that's something I've definitely noticed. Also, guys, so the other day I went to an event, and there was like a bunch of people, and we were kind of asked to do like kind of like an introduction, so to speak. They gave us like a question, and they kind of made us mingle around in the room and really get to know other people. And I noticed that as I literally took a swig of like my Moldavite water, and as I started talking to people, I felt like I was buzzed. Okay, so if you guys have ever like drank beer or anything like that, you know, when you kind of get that buzz where it's like, huh, like I'm here but I'm not here, like, huh, like anything can happen kind of thing. That's how I kind of was when I was drinking Moldavite water and at this event, talking and mingling with people. Obviously, you know, there was no alcohol, but I felt like I was buzzed. I felt like I really wasn't there, but I was there. And so that was something that that definitely changed for me as I've been drinking Moldavite water. Is just, I don't know, like I always feel like I'm buzzed in some way, shape, or form, especially if I'm around a large group of positive people. It takes that like high, so to speak, almost to a new level. And so that's something else that I've noticed is just feeling more energy, you know, especially good energy from good people. And so kind of leading into that, you know, another thing that I've noticed is that I have this kind of like chameleon effect, this kind of like mirroring, this kind of synchronistic vibe now to my body. And I really feel it has to do a lot with, you know, me drinking Moldavite water, because now that you're taking that energy in you, it's now really operating really from the depths of like your body, so to speak. And so one thing that I've noticed is that I can quickly synchronize myself to another person just to kind of get a quick feel of where they're at, but then I could quickly jump out of it and come back to like my body, my energy, my truth. But I've been noticing it more naturally, so it happens more naturally, and I'm aware of it. So like I'll be talking to someone and say they're like really happy, and you know, they're you know, I kind of like, hey, you know, like I kind of join them, but then I kind of like mellow out, and then I'm like, huh, now I kind of know where they're at, what they're doing. And it's almost like being able to adapt to your environment is what I've noticed. Like I can adapt to my environment just to kind of feel the energy, and then I could adapt to my own again, which is something that I really hadn't noticed before until I started working with Moldavite water. So that's definitely something really interesting. It's basically like entering their spirit almost, and like kind of building that rapport, and then being able to kind of like disentangle yourself from that, so you kind of know what they need and what's going on in their lives. Also, my dreams have actually kind of stopped. You know, obviously some people will say that you still dream even if you don't remember. But for me, since I've started drinking Moldavite water, my dreams have not been that intense. I've actually don't even remember, maybe because I've just, I don't know, I'm tired or something, but that's something that definitely has changed for me. Also, you know, I've been guided to really kind of cut off emotional ties. I've been doing a lot of visualizations. You know, I can feel energies inside my heart that had to be released, that have now been released, which was really interesting. And so it's really just a really crazy adventure, guys, like working with Moldavite water. And another thing, a couple of other things that I noticed was, I've been noticing when I work with technology, so like phones and like gadgets and all these things, at first they were kind of like, you know, widgeting out like they weren't working. But then I realized, well, I'm like, if my energy can kind of discalibrate this thing, maybe I can use it to calibrate it again. And so I'm learning how to use my own energy when it becomes too powerful to actually make devices work instead of breaking them. And so that's something that I've definitely noticed as well. That definitely has been increasing. Another thing, guys, before I actually leave, before I end this video, is something that I think a lot of you will really enjoy, is increasing your spiritual powers, right? So I've noticed that I have very unique spiritual powers that I may share later on in this video, or, you know, as the videos progress. But it's really interesting when you start to untap and learn, or basically almost remember your spiritual powers before you came into this world. And I think it's really interesting because some of the things that you can do with Moldavite water, it really has a lot to do, at least in my experience, is synchronicities. So recently I've been adding up numbers, subtracting numbers, multiplying numbers, dividing numbers, whatever it may be, and they all end up in like quadruple digit numbers. And it's like it'd be like 3333, 111111, and it's like, wow, that is so cool. So I want to give you guys like a quick bonus, so to speak, on maybe what I'm hinting at, and maybe you guys will figure it out as well as we continue on this journey together. Just pay attention to the synchronicities. That's like my clue. So hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are enjoying the energy right now. I sure am. It's a really nice day today. And so, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I send you guys so much love, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. See ya.